Filoni, it is so good to have a few minutes with you. I know that you've been super, super busy this year and we haven't had a chance to talk much, so welcome.
Hello.
I think saying that it's been a big year for you is kind of an understatement. The Clone Wars is back and Mando's happening. I want to know what the highlight of this year has been for you.
I don't know. I can't really say there's a highlight. I work with so many talented people. I don't want to put one over anything else. It was a unique experience to finish Clone Wars, and I'm very proud of that work. And making Mando and everything I learned in first season to second and write another episode and include some of my favorite characters that I've been a part of creating over the years at Lucasfilm was very special. So they're both right up there for me, and I like both things I've been able to deliver. I mean, but you should, right? You should like all the things you're doing, and who knew it'd be such an exciting time. It's been a different year, that's for sure.
All of these stories actually have become much more connected over this year. You know, you've got pieces of Rebels and pieces of the Clone Wars coming together in Mando. What's it like for you kind of tying all of those pieces together? Has it been something that you've been working toward specifically for a long time, or was it just something that you kind of had to figure out as you got to this point?
Well, it's definitely something I've been working towards for a long time. The idea of taking characters that I'd worked with in animation and moving them into the live action space is something that I became interested in directly because of my work with George. I hadn't really aspired to be a live action director in my career. I was just really focused on animation and learning that craft and art. But working with George, he gave me a lot of confidence to say, well, maybe this is something I could do. I didn't know if it would ever happen. You need so many things to go right, and you need to be surrounded by the right people. It's not just about what you're going to do and what you can bring to it. You have to have a team of people, whether it's animation, live action, that are all trying to make this awesome story happen in the way you want. And I've been very fortunate to be aligned with the right people at every step of my career here at Lucasfilm.
So now that we're coming to the end of season 2, obviously your experience is probably very different from season 1 till now. Can you tell me a little bit about how that's changed, how you've grown, how your approach has evolved?
I think it's like everything, right? You get confidence. You have a better understanding of what you're doing. You've seen results from making the first season. You've done so many episodes. You know more of what to look for. In season 2, everybody coming on set knew that Grogu was a big star. He went from being like our little secret that we all thought was cool to being like this global phenomenon of a little guy. Like suddenly he's everywhere and there's songs about him and like graffiti about him, like he's everywhere. And so everybody that came on set treated him a little differently this year, which was kind of funny to watch. He already has such great personality. I think the puppeteering and everything, that his performance was even better this second season. After making a season, John and I both realized several things that worked, several things that didn't work, how to use the volume better to our advantage. And you just apply that going forward. You want a good balance of things that are challenging that you've never done and things that you're confident are going to work when you set out to do them. So I went into directing the episode I did this past season with a lot more confidence and knowledge and a game plan that I thought could work. I basically made an episode of Star Wars that I'd always wanted to make, which was like a samurai film and, Kurosawa, Yojimbo style action and adventure.
That's so funny because when I was watching this, I was like, oh wow, this is like every one of Dave's favorite things. He's got Westerns in it. He's got samurai films in it. It looked like you on a screen.
I put some giant monsters in the back, so they're kaiju. There's a little Godzilla, a little Mononoke. Mm-hmm. The trick is when you're taking inspiration from the works of great, talented artists is you have to do things well. So it puts a lot of pressure on you to deliver something that's unique in its own right. With the team that we have on the Mando series, I know that we can do that. From early on, when I was talking to John about how I wanted to do it, I said, I really want to slow the pace down for this episode. I want to let shots be a little longer than we've had before and really give Rosario a chance to perform and be the character and just let her carry the shot, carry the frame. And I was just thrilled with what Rosario brought to it. I met Rosario beforehand, and when we talked about playing the character and stuff, but every day I was on set, I just met Ahsoka, and she was that character. And I would just marvel at it, how this thing that you've pictured so long in your head can just be there in front of you in a very real way. And all the study and research that she did to be that, and all the things that she knows about the character now that we could talk about. It was awesome. I got to say, it was an awesome experience and something I'll never forget.
It felt so right. And seeing Bo-Katan, in live action as well, and having Katie Sackhoff being there to, bring her to this dimension of that character is pretty amazing.
When I cast Katie, Katie way back when. I told her, I said, if we get this right, we could do this in live action one day with you. Because when I was creating Bo-Katan, I was very aware of Katie's work as Starbuck. And so there was a lot of that attitude that I knew she could bring immediately into the character. She was so fanned out when she showed up in armor. I was there, but she had it on the first time. The two of us were just so happy. Yeah, it's a really cool thing. I mean, what a special thing.
I gotta talk about Tamara Morrison.
Tim, yeah. He's priceless. He's immeasurable. He is the exact person for that role.
I was texting my Boba Fett fanboys and I was like, okay, you win. Boba Fett's cool.
And yeah, he's got the armor and we used it. Finally, the story in that moment's about him. So he should do all those things. In the old films, it's not as much about him. He's a player in it, but it's not about him. And I love when he says, I don't want your armor, I want my armor. And you're just like, wow, it's Boba Fett claiming his armor back.
This series has done, I think, so much to expand the fandom of Star Wars. It's brought in so many people who may not have been paying much attention to these stories for a really long time. And now they're experiencing the rest of Star Wars. How do you think that these stories are going to impact sort of the past work that you've done at Lucasfilm? It seems to me like it's giving new life to your animated series.
I think so. I mean, I think that's what's unique about the Disney Plus environment, right? Is that you can watch, and I would say that probably a lot of people come to Mandalorian to see Grogu. Then they get on this adventure and they encounter other characters and they go, well, who is this character? And you can literally just scroll down and watch Ahsoka when she first meets Anakin as a Padawan, or you can watch the Clone Wars, you can watch Bo-Katan and Rebels. So it's very accessible where, when I was a kid and I saw episode 4, I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed 3. And I didn't realize that there were no other 3. And then Obi-Wan's talking about the Clone Wars. I'm like, well, that would be cool to see. And so the whole thing has changed now where it's available if you want. But as a storyteller, you have a challenging responsibility to both tell the story in a way that will make sense to people that have never seen it before, but also honor the fact that there have been people that have been with you for many, 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 many years and have certain expectations of the character. These are all the considerations. Look at this, it's a fun talk. We haven't had a talk like this in a while, Andy.
It's been a while. And you've got so much more going on. I mean, you've got Bad Batch coming up next year.
I mean, it's a fun show. I'm very excited about it. I will say that, to me, it's very much in the vein of Clone Wars. And it follows the legacy that we started way back with George of telling very, very exciting adventure stories in the style of Clone Wars. It does aspire to the look and the scale of those adventures, which I think now the audience really demands to have the animated series be epic, like where we were at the end of the episodes of the Siege of Mandalore. And the animation team is doing such great work. So I'm very proud of them and the work that we're doing there. There's a lot to come. I can't tell you, so busy. But it's good. I mean, I love it all. And, to be this far into Star Wars in my career, it's like 15 years now. But we're still doing such exciting stuff. I never get tired of it. I'm always excited. There's always something new to do. And working with John is super exciting as well. And I love what we've done on all creative fronts. It's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see the rest of the season and what's coming down the road. Thank you so much for coming and rambling with me.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll edit it down to barely anything.
Yeah,
though.
there's like a good 3 minutes in there, I'm sure.